now were free 99, because at that point she was a single mom. So she was finding stuff that was free so that the idle mind didn't go into the wrong place. I was still next door to them, but the choices we were making were different, and that did change things.
So how did that help you develop your ideology of your perspective of life?
Honestly, the funny thing is, in a lot of those spaces, we weren't always doing too much. It's just that I didn't have the opportunity to have an idle mind that just felt like this is what I was supposed to be doing all day. It made me feel like I'm always supposed to be doing something. I'm always supposed to be being productive, even if I wasn't. Some of them summer programs, think about it, if you go to the YMCA, y'all playing around. We wasn't doing nothing, but it made me feel like instead of playing outside, I should always be some sort of productive. It made me feel like there's something else you can be doing. Sometimes my mom just made up and, hey, dishes in there. Something else you could be doing besides going outside and becoming a product. So she said that often. You didn't have to become a product of your environment. I was in the environment, but don't have to become a product.
So how do you think that affect your decision that you needed? How do you think that affect you being a leader today?
Again, I do feel some things are in you, not on you. I've been a leader. I was born a leader. But I think what it did help. No, I was born a leader. I'm a leader.
Do you think a lot of people deny the fact that they are a leader?
Yes, I think some people don't know what to do with that, and that's scary. And then even I, as a leader, I don't always want people following me. So sometimes you want the space to just be an individual and not to be a leader. So people like to take the responsibility off of themselves and say they're not a leader. You see that a lot, especially within like rap. You see that a lot in our culture. They'll hurry up and say, I'm not a leader. It's a million people standing in front of you. You want to say you're not a leader. You're absolutely a leader, but you don't want that responsibility. So I think that's what happens often, is that people are leaders and they're scared of the responsibility, because that means that you have to rise to the occasion, and people don't want to rise to the occasion. So they decide, instead of rising to the occasion, I'm just going to say I'm not a leader. Well, you clearly leading all these people, and you need to be responsible about it. And that's all it is people don't want to be responsible about it. But yeah, I've always been a leader. I do think that some of the decisions that my mom made, that my dad made when I was a kid, helped me to always be responsible about my leadership, helped me to care about where I was going, helped me to always place just a lot of weight on my day-to-day.
I think you're a stop too.
Probably the SD card is cool. I'll chop it up.
Okay.
What I got.
Okay, I'm about to say you're a style too.
Yeah.
But nah, man. But I ain't gonna lie, you tough.
You gotta be tough on crime.
Man, you tough, man. You know.
You gotta be tough on crime.
And I can understand. You know, I can understand, but man, you tough.
This ain't an easy subject either, because there's some stuff that we could just be light and airy and cute about. And I used to have a podcast called Green Tea with Honey. And I said, this is Green Tea with Honey. I'm honey, and this is your tea.
No.
And it was so fun and so cute.
But we talk about the real on my
that's what I'm saying. So you gotta be tough.
It ain't gotta be necessarily tough, man.
It is tough.
Like, what you mean, like?
What ain't tough about revolutionizing our people? A revolution is tough. The word revolution in itself is tough. The revolution won't be televised. It's all tough. Being a revolutionary, again, like you said, I posted Huey P. Newton's book of revolutionary suicide. Those two words together are crazy. And the whole concept within that book is, if you think you're a revolutionary, you got to be willing to die about that. That's tough. That's tough.
But I'm like,
you never saw Malcolm X lukewarm. You never saw Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton. You always saw all of them yelling. You never saw them lukewarm.
But before they became Malcolm X, before they became Martin Luther King, before they became what the world saw them as, they had to get there. Mm-hmm. And that's most of the time when I be speaking, I'm speaking for people trying to get there. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, getting there is challenging. And my thing is, what can we do to provide informational services to help people get there? I'm not trying to say baby them.
Yeah.
But I ain't say beat them down either.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
The information, the services, they're out there. I think what it is almost like what it reminds me of is someone who has an issue like alcoholism or something. And we know that it's there for them to go, but you're going to be scared to go to that program, you know? You're going to be scared to walk in that door. You're going to be scared to go to that men's group. You're going to be scared to go to that woman's group. You're going to be scared to go to that book club. But it's like we have to start to get a little uncomfortable and put ourselves in the spaces where we can ask these questions and ask people like, hey, where can I learn more about this? Who knows something more about this? How can I learn more about this? We have to start intentionally placing ourselves in even places online. Like I said, just changing our algorithm a little bit. It'd be taking 10 minutes of uncomfortability for me to change my algorithm to like, I don't really want to.
Okay, see.
I'm gonna look at this though instead.
So when you change it, how can you change the algorithm?
So for an example, I needed to look for animators. I told you that.
Okay.
So I needed to figure out how I animate characters. So what I had started doing was anytime I open Instagram, I open TikTok, instead of having a good time, I would just type it in. I would just go ahead and type in character animation. So if you're looking for voting rights, every time you get on Instagram, type that in. Type in voting rights.
But that's the. So what we just did is we pretty much just teach them how to change the algorithm. Mm-hmm. Some people probably didn't know something as that simple of changing it. And earlier you was like, they got the luxury of it, but
and
what
they
I'm
do.
Saying, but what I'm saying is like I'm not saying they do. I'm not saying they don't. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying it from a perspective.
Like if you don't have understanding at all, what do you do?
Like you
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for example, even when you brought up the AA classes, it is very uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? But that's why we here, because I said, hey. You said, hey, the audience like it. I said, hey, let's finish it. Let's go in depth in it. That's why we're here, to understand what there is take to really start freeing your own mind in order to be that, in order to receive the constructive criticism that you are trying to inform them that
Absolutely.
You don't have to be lukewarm.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because like I said earlier, I'm a director of advising and retention for an institution. So due to the fact that I'm a director, like, yes, I've been in a leader role before, but not of something of this stature, you know, this high up. You get what I'm saying? And when it's like that, it's like, damn, I'm not only thinking for myself, I'm thinking for
the masses, almost everybody there.
I'm thinking about the staff. I'm thinking about the students. I'm thinking about the faculty. I'm thinking about everything that I'm doing in this department. How it can actually be a better department. What can we improve? What can we do this? I've never been in nothing like this.
Right.
So my first thing is to run. Is to run.
Yeah.
Because of the fact, hey, I don't want to deal with this. Like, it's because it's a challenging just to be yourself. It's a challenging to play the roles that you have to play. Then you got to come in here and still play roles. Right. And when you never been trained for those roles, your first outcome is to run. That's why I'm like, I get what you're saying. Yo, hey, you are responsible for that. But where can they get some help for they can understand that even though they're responsible for it, it's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay to feel like you're going to come up short. Right. It's okay to understand that, hey, you ain't going to always have it. And with that, some people like, man, I'm finna throw in a towel. Like, even you said you're an author. When you start writing your books, was you scared? Of course. And when you start trying to get it published or self-published, you didn't know. Your first book process is your second book process is totally different from the first book process. Then you said you're working on your third one, right? Then you said you're working on a series as well too. So with doing all this process that you've been through your first process, your second process, your third process. It got you to a process where, yes, I know I'm very uncomfortable. Then by you being in those processes, it brought you in certain spaces, whereas you know how to reach out for certain stuff and how to ask for certain stuff or how to break down the material on certain stuff.
Yeah.
Some people ain't got started like that.
Right.
So that's why when you be talking, when you was articulating yourself, I was like, damn, you tough.
Yeah.
Because when you first started, you wasn't where you was today. I could be wrong.
No, I absolutely.
You know
I think the difference is there is like some of us will have the feeling that someone is almost like coming to save us. And so in you speaking what you're speaking, I had to figure every single thing you tell me nothing. And I'm like, dang, I know people have these